Indianapolis. John Hyde describes him as an intramural stud for 3 years. First year on the actual basketball team. Been lighting guys up in intramurals and now joined the intercollegiate team and has been a help and a boost in this one as he grabs a defensive rebound. Underneath, it's Peters, and he shuffled the feet.
It's too bad he had him all set up and just lost the footwork because gave a good pump fake.
But isn't that a situation where you see 6'9" James Nelson looming? You know, I can't just go straight up with it. I'm throwing pump fakes, power dribbles. And I shuffle the feet because the big fella is looming somewhere near.
It could be. Nice job by Berkman, big guy, being active. You got a kick ball there, but they had a back door all set up for Cumberland. Cumberland looks a whole lot better today.
Cumberland will inbound right in front of us underneath to Hayes. Hayes got good position. Here's Cumberland for three. Back of the rim, no good. Nelson, an offensive rebound. Here's Allen. Back out to Cumberland. Good help there by Berkman, who came out and jumped him. Hayes underneath, and Berkman blocked his shot. So a very good defensive sequence.
Well, he turned him out.
Berkman, the freshman out of Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Yeah, he forced Cumberland out. And actually, Cumberland did a great job feeding the post. But Berkman recovered. A great job by the young man.
Inbound to Farrell, and Hayes, I think, going to get called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, I think that's more of a mental scenario.
They called the foul on Berkman. I may have seen the after effect. I don't know what Berkman did, but I saw Hayes throw Berkman to the ground. And John Hyde, I'd like to call. Got to watch that matchup. Berkman must play with some feistiness. I know from covering OCU during the regular season that Hayes does, and now James Nelson and Peters getting a talking to.
A little
Tim Baker, and a foul going to be called? No, they're going to call the travel.
Wow, there was some looking at the officials. John Hyde's looking at the officials. I think everybody here wasn't sure what the call is. I know that John's got to be pleased because that would have been a number two on Berkman.
I thought Metzger was going to call the foul, and McMillan came in. Brian McMillan, one of the umpires, and called the travel. And the travel superseded the foul, so that's what prevails. First,
was he at hula hands also?
They were all there. I got to, during a break, I'll tell you what Metzger said. Jump ball. Your referee today is Greg Kulata, and he's not going to play post on very many basketball teams. And Metzger told me when I said, hey, I thought I saw you at the hotel last night. He said, yeah, Greg was there too. You just couldn't see him over some of the, what do you call those, the dividers in the restaurant. They'll know we're Christians by our love, right?
I guess.
Oh, they have a good spirit.
They've been really good. The officiating's been great. 16-13 right now, North Central. Looking for Roeder in the corner.
9:30 to play, first half. Ross Johnson has checked back in. Couple mid-range jumpers for the senior out of Kenosha. There's a mid-range jumper for Levi Koistra.
He's effective. He gets about as much out of himself as he can. He didn't even bring that ball down. Catch and release. I really like this kid, Burnt, for North Central.
Koistra with a game-high 6 points. Here is Burnt guarding Jay Allen. Allen nearly threw it away. Fortunate to get it to Michael Baker. Shot clock is at 15. Game clock first half is at 9 minutes. Here's Cumberland from about 25 feet. And I see some of the North Central fans just throw their hands up as if to say, what do you do with that?
He is a really good player.
8 points for Cumberland. Koistra, what are they going to call? Metzger going to get a hold. Cumberland, a slap as Terrell tried to come down and assist his 6'9" teammate Nelson.
Is that his second?
That is number 2 if it's on Cumberland.
And I think that's a big play in this game because he's the one that can create if things bog down for Ohio Christian.
But I will say this, in some systems, 2 fouls, you sit down. Curtis Christopher will get him back in 2 minutes. They'll roll the dice a little bit with him, especially in a 5th place game. Roeder with some contact against Glandon, they're going to call the block on DeLorean.
Roeder's a really smart player. If he gets bumped, he's going to let you know he got bumped. He's almost your Kemba Walker type, likes to dramatize that.
Broder, a business major. His dad played basketball at North Central. That's the connection. And another foul on DeLorean Glanton, who's trying to get after it defensively and is getting himself in foul trouble in the process. Mr. Roeder played back in the 80s at North Central. Those are your best recruiting tools, Coach. Alumni in the program, I'll tell you that, especially when it's a dad.
Yeah. Right now, Glanton's got to get himself refocused because he has not been happy with the last 2 calls. He's been a little vocal, and the official,
Jack Metzger,
is actually got his eye on him.
DeLorean usually not very emotional either. He's kind of a calming influence on this OCU team, but pick up 2 quick fouls, trying to get after it defensively, and he's lost his poise. There's big James Nelson with that big paw near the rim, tipped it up and in. First 2 for the sophomore out of Dayton, Ohio. Burns to Ross Johnson, and Anthony McDaniel just leveled Berkman, trying to get through a screen top of the key, and the A-Train's not going to get away with that.
McDaniel and leveled is probably a very great term for that young man.
First on McDaniel, 5th on the team. North Central to inbound underneath their own basket. Burnt to do so. 7:57 to play first half. Deadlocked at 18. Rick Cooper and CCSN here with Pete Weary, the head men's coach from Northland International University, NIU. Roeder picked up by McDaniel. Johnson thought about a 3. Instead goes into that mid-range area and he hits again.
I don't know if he'll shoot it from the 3, but he'll take that one dribble. Whoop, money. 2018, North Central. Right now they're executing very well on the offensive half court.
Ross Johnson, a sports management major at North Central. What does that do for your athletic programs to have a sports management major? Tim Baker's runner inside. I just got to believe there's a lot of athletes that would like to get into sports management. Foul underneath.
We don't have one.
Jay Allen.
Northland has what we call sports ministry, that is using it in the church, and that's been very effective. Dennis Scott, former head coach at Northland,
sure,
well known here in the NCCAA, has done a phenomenal job with that. We have about 30 in that major. I mean, jumped right into it. It's only 4 years old. Just using athletics as a platform for the gospel, and honestly, that's kind of probably what North Central's doing with sports management. I know there's other NCCAA schools that have that.
Roeder's first free throw is up and in. Nathan with 3. Couple subs for either team. I just got to believe, I would think that would just jumpstart an athletic program. To have a sports management degree where kids that love basketball can come in and pursue a career in that same area. I'm surprised more schools at the NCCAA Division II level don't do it. I imagine there's a risk starting it up, but I just think that would be...
You got to find the right guy. You got to find a guy with a master's with some of that knowledge and has a degree in that area. Hey, today's championship day. I got to do this.
It is championship day, isn't it?
It's amazing to me. There's championships going all over the country. I got to throw this out. I know that my mom should be listening to me. She's probably not. She's more concerned about UConn winning tonight. I like UConn and you like Ohio State, but my mom loves UConn more than me. She'd rather have Kemba Walker as a kid. North Central University is a Christ-centered university in the heart of downtown Minneapolis. North Central offers more than 30 degree programs, NCAA athletics, and a campus of 1,200 students. Learn more at northcentral.edu.
Circleville Nazarene Church, one of our sponsors today as well. One of a Hollywood actress, a Fox News anchor, rock star businessman, and former mob boss have in common. They've all had lives that have been changed from tragedy into triumph. Come hear them in person at Circleville Nazarene Church, March 21st through 25th at 7 p.m. For more information, visit tragedyintotriumph.com. You weren't on with me the other day when I read that. I love stuff like that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
One of the things I said on the air is people can argue in this world, scripture, theology, but they can't argue change lives.
No, that's, the gospel.
And
the gospel of Jesus Christ changes.
Nothing like my favorite stories in the Bible are change lives. To preach stories like David and some of these people that did 180s. Peter, Paul, Absolutely.
We could have thrown out Peter, Paul, and Mary.
That's right. That's right. And then to see that in the lives of people in this world and society, nothing more powerful. Go check that out.
Great defensive set by North Central, and in the midst of that,
Mike Farrell
just steps up and sticks one.
22-20 North Central, under 6.5 to play here in the first half. Oh, he just traveled.
Yeah,
he sure did. Stick around after the game. We'll select our Citizens Bank of Asheville player of the game. Citizens Bank of Asheville can get you where you're going and got the strength to move you forward with Choice Rewards. The Choice Rewards checking account pays you interest and has no monthly service fees. ATM charges are refunded if qualifiers are met. Call us today and ask for the details. 740-474-2799. A proud supporter of OCU basketball. A nice step through by Michael Baker. And they're going to charge the foul to 23 points. Sorry about those technical difficulties. 22-20. Michael Baker to the free throw line for 2. First one front of the rim, no good. Trailblazers now 2 of 5 for 40% at the charity stripe. One more for the senior. One of 2 seniors on this Ohio Christian squad. And the second one, no good as well.
I don't know what that squeak was, but it could have been me from that drumstick last night.
Could be you taking your headset off with the volume at full strength.
Oh, it could have been that too.
And there's a steal. Nicely done by Michael Baker at 6'7". Got near the floor to deflect that pass, and Berkman takes it away. Berkman to the other end, and he was fouled by Cumberland. And that is number 3 on Terrell Cumberland. That's a scenario there where you've got to run through and not make contact. No, Coach?
I think, as big as Cumberland is to Ohio Christian, that might be where you give up 2 so you can make 6 later on, because he is a huge offensive factor. But he's going to the bench now with 3, and there's close to 6 minutes left here in the first half.
I told you Christopher would bring him back in, but I think you can run through on that play. You just don't make any contact with 2 fouls.
Especially a big who's going at full speed. He may miss it. I got a good look there because I rubbed the microphone by mistake.
First free throw is good. Second one good again for Bryce Berkman.
24-20.
22 points yesterday on 7 of 11 shooting. He's got 4 here today. 24-20, the North Central lead. As we approach 5.5 minutes to play first half. Justin Glenn, the Pro Shield Limited Insulation and Fireproofing halftime show. He'll have all the first half numbers and much more. And Cumberland in the game right now. Anthony McDaniel at the table. This is a big series right here. If Cumberland picked up a 4th foul. Berkman against Michael Baker, who blocked his shot. Into the hands of Farrell. Farrell to Hayes. Hayes to the rim. He put it in and he was fouled. Cloister was a step late getting to that spot.
Let him go. Let him go. Either let him go or foul him. You can't give the... honestly, it was an easy one. It was almost, did he foul him? But he put himself in a position to look like he fouled him.
Exactly.
Here comes Peters for Berkman.
First foul on Cloister, 5th on the team. Cumberland does get out of the basketball game. McDaniel's in for him. Hayes with 4.
Faust is also in for North Central.
And make it 5 for Jeremy Hayes. OCU unofficially 3 of 7 from the charity stripe. 24-23. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Roeder double team nicely. Found him underneath. He found Johnson. I don't know how he got that pass in there.
It's great hands by Johnson and great pass by Roeder.
Back out to Roeder. Shot clock's at 13. Looking to work against McDaniel. To Faust, now to the right wing, Johnson. One dribble and fires again.
He does not.
And that's not mid-range, is it?
Well, it's he takes that one dribble to the left and then extends his whole body and boom.
McDaniel missed, but he got his own rebound. Back out to Jeremy Hayes. Hayes to the left baseline of McDaniel. Tim Baker, baseline. Underneath Hayes, got good position. All basketball, Brian McMillan says, and Hayes tried to throw it at the rim. It didn't get it close, and Faust to the other end for an easy 2.
Great pass by Johnson, looking ahead. Took him a second, but he finally saw Faust ahead in an easy layup.
And Curtis Christopher wants a full timeout. North Central has opened up a 5-point lead. It's 28-23. 4:08 to play first half. You're listening to the NCCAA Division II National Tournament here on the Christian College Sports Network.